If I love, how much love will I get in return from God? We are always transacting. We donate 10 rupees or 10,000 rupees or 10 crores and we expect much greater. Moksha. What do people understand by moksha? Moksha means to become free. Moksha ho gaya means I have become free. But there too there is a limit to what extent am I free. For example, if you take a prisoner, you must have seen some prisoners are carried on by hand, taken by hand by the police. They are taken by hand. There are other types of prisoners where they handcuff them in the front. There are other types of prisoners, they handcuff them in the back. The very hardened criminals, where they are tied on their legs as well as on their hands. Their legs are tied on chains so that they don't run away. And their hands are also tied up so that they don't do anything foolish and attack you. So this is a kind of bandhan, the trap. They tie you up. Now, in our day-to-day life, nobody is tying us up. No policeman is tying us up. Only our attachment, our misunderstandings, our guilt, all these things, they weigh upon us. And they work like a man who is thrown in the river or in the ocean with a 10-kilo weight on his feet. He cannot swim. So our situation is like that. The burden on our heart because of our preconditioning, indoctrinations. To nowadays, you hear of terrorism, orthodoxy, Hindutva, fanaticism of Christianity or fanaticism of Islam or fanaticism of Hindu. Fanaticism is fanaticism. We do not want a fanatic Hindu. We do not want a fanatic Muslim. We do not want a fanatic Christian. These are all burdens. They jail you in your own heart. They trap you in your own heart. They create hatred in our heart. When you have hatred in your heart, do you think you are hurting the other person? You're not hurting the other person with hatred in your heart or anger in your heart. So freeing yourself from all these negative emotions, hatred, anger, discontent, lust, all these trap us. Freeing ourselves from these traps is moksha, is mukti, is liberation, is salvation. Sahaj Marg's system of yoga goes much beyond moksha and mukti. Because moksha, I will put a question across to you. What is the difference between moksha and mukti? In English, what is the difference between salvation and liberation? And can we go beyond liberation or mukti? Moksha is a lower state. Theoretically speaking, let us understand this. The difference between these three aspects of our spiritual journey. Moksha is a very limited state where you do some good work and nature rewards you for your good work and say, okay, you will be enjoying a bliss or some sort of a happy state after your death. But it is time bound based on your karma. When that reward is completed, you are sent back. So you take a rebirth again. That is a status of moksha. What happens to liberation? Liberation is you go beyond moksha. All these opposites that we have, desires versus contentment, restlessness versus peace, anger versus love, fear versus courage, illusion versus clarity. When we go beyond all these things, you are free. You have no complaints against anybody, including yourself. You become very generous in your heart. Everything in nature, everything that surrounds us, you become loving without any conditions. That is mukti. That is liberation. You have no crimes to cry about or complain about. And such a state is available to any Sahaj Marg practitioners who goes beyond this hard region. I would wish you all to read at least complete works of Ramchandra, Volume 1, and see the intricate journey that he has described so brilliantly from his own personal experiences. This book that is written by Babuji is not a theoretical book. He has poured out his heart that what is religion, what is spirituality, what is goal of life, how to achieve it, how I should mold my life to go beyond liberation, how do I cross various chakras, the yogic chakras that we hear in the books. Is there a state beyond Sahasradal Kamal? Can I go beyond liberation? And what is the state of our soul when you go beyond liberation? And he puts it so nicely in the words. At the same time, he makes it possible for us, as in when we meditate, we are able to witness the changes in us, and we ascertain that yes, what Babuji has written about Hridaya Chakra or Sahasradal Kamal or Seventh Chakra, Bhagya Chakra, they match. The description in the book matches your personal experiences. So what more do you want here? See, religion talks about many things, but there is no proof. Sahaj Marg talks about also many things, but everything with proof. Everything that we can personally experience ourselves. So you need not even have a belief, you need not even have a trust that is this possible? But yes, it becomes possible when you close your eyes, meditate every single day, morning and evening, and see how your life changes. It is not about reaction of God actually, love aspect, or even complaining aspect, or disliking God. It is not about how God will respond. It is all about how our heart melts in the whole process. That melting itself is a great response. Surrendering also. Do you think that when you surrender to God, as Lord Krishna says, Sarve dharman parityajya mamekam saranam braja. When we completely abide with Saranagati, do you think God will also match that Saranagati? He doesn't have to. Without His love, we would not have been even existing. So the question of responding from His side does not arise at all. It is how we respond to His already given love to us. How we melt our heart, how we take Saranagati. It is the act of Saranagati to the entire existence, not only to God. Meaning total acceptance of whatsoever may happen in our life. Be grateful to God and say, thank you, my Lord. Thank you for having created the circumstances. Most of us, they crave for the happiness in the future. Nothing wrong with it. If you had some level of happiness or a joy or a luxury in the past, let us see if it was X. We always seem to Expect incremental. X means sometime, oh, let it be 2x, let it be 3x, let it be 10x. But the wiser people have always reflected on the past. What has made them? If you really want to transform your life for good, see how you have changed in the past, what circumstances were there that prompted you to change your life, your lookout on life, and what you became out of those circumstances. That does not mean that we should pray for miseries and troubles, because they are the only thing that really makes us. But whatsoever come our way, take it and see how you thrive and how you mutate and how you transform your life around those circumstances without fighting. Fighting against a circumstance is never going to help us. In fact, if we fight, we'll keep fighting and not learn anything out of that circumstance. Observe, see what happens as a result of these new circumstances, which may not be so palatable. All these questions of transformation and God's response are around only this: if I love, how much love will I get in return from God? We are always transacting. We donate 10 rupees or 10,000 rupees or 10 crores, and we expect much greater. This transaction must be avoided because it only shows your greed and nothing else. In temples also, why do we throw money? We don't even give respectfully, we throw money in the temples. Do you think God needs your money? That murti needs your money? What will Nirjiva Murti can do with that money or your ornaments or gold? Nothing whatsoever. But the very act of sharing all that money as well as your ornaments, do you think God will receive in the heavens or wherever He is? If He has a form, He will use it. He doesn't have a form. Who uses all the money that you give and ornaments you throw in temples? Think over it. It goes to the trustees, and you don't even know who they are and how they are spending. Priests, and they live their life apparently so much in a simple way, but do they really? They may be having no shirt, only dhoti as a priest in the temple. But what about the hours when they are not in the temple? Have you seen all those things? So let's not have any transaction with our worshipable gods and goddesses. Best is to adore, revere, and make that divine life. Instead of moving towards such places, make your life divine. Make your shariram, your body, as a tirtham for God. Then you don't have to run from one tirtha to another tirtha, because you are yourself and noble tirtham. Try to create that within. And heartfulness practices are all geared towards purifying our entire system so that God can make a permanent abode in our heart.
A place becomes sacred not because of where it is, but because of the awareness we carry into it. Click on the next video and discover how that awareness transforms everyday life.